Hello everyone. In today's video I will be discussing about watercolor pencils and its characteristics while comparing it to a typical watercolor paint. So keep watching as I demonstrate the techniques to use both these mediums. So firstly, this is not a review of any brand of watercolor pencils. So I'll be focusing more on the nature and characteristics of watercolor pencils as opposed to a normal watercolor paint. And as you all know, watercolor pencils have been around in the market for some time now, and I believe they have come a long way. What I mean is they are offered by so many well-established brands, and the quality of their paints have improved as well. And in fact, it is also offered in the form of sticks like the pastel sticks other than the normal pencil sticks. So this is the student grade Faber-Castell watercolor pencils which I got in 2015, that is 9 years ago. And just like any other artist, I was curious to try them, which is why I got these 24 pieces of color set, which also comes with a 2B pencil, a sharpener, as well as a student grade watercolor brush. So for those who have no idea at all about what watercolor pencils are, basically they work just like regular color pencils, and you just color them on your paper, preferably a thicker paper. And when you apply water with your watercolor brush, since the pigment of these color pencils are water soluble, it tends to bleed and works just like a normal watercolor paint. So the last time I used these watercolor pencils were in the year 2017, which is 7 years ago. And basically I stopped using them because there are still some limitations when it comes to using watercolor pencils, and I was ambitious about mastering a typical watercolor painting where major brush strokes and techniques are involved. So keep watching as I demonstrate while explaining the pros and cons of watercolor pencils. So since watercolor pencils are dry medium, you not necessarily have to use a very thick paper because you don't work with very wet paints. However, a minimum of 200 grams per square meter thickness is feasible enough. So the first step is to just use the pencil as in a regular color pencil, where you lay down the dry medium onto your dry paper, as opposed to the normal watercolor where you use a wet paint and activate it with water, or even the dry palettes where you activate it with water before you start painting them. And in normal watercolor paints, you will be activating it and mixing the color on the watercolor palette, while the watercolor pencils, you don't have a mixing palette whereby you straight use your wet brush to activate the color on the paper and do the blending. The outcome of the color in terms of thickness and vibrancy depends on the extent of your coloring that you made prior to using the water. So the darker the shading, the darker the outcome. You also don't need a very wet or soaked brush in order to do this coloring in watercolor pencils. A damp brush would do, and you don't need various brush types. A simple round brush would do the trick. And since it's water soluble, you can also lift out some pigments from your painting, just like in a regular watercolor painting. So this method is used to create some highlights in a watercolor painting. Therefore, you not necessarily have to leave out white spaces during your coloring process in order to achieve this effect. Similar to a normal watercolor painting, you can also pre-wet your paper before you apply the color pencil pigment. It's similar to a wet in wet painting. You can notice the screen on the left. I am applying the pigment on a wet surface and it looks much darker. Though you can't nail a perfect wet on wet look as in regular watercolor painting, but this method helps the watercolor pencil glide much more easily. As you can notice here, it has a soft edge compared to the first two painting which has got sharper edge. So this helps to speed up the coloring process. And just like a regular watercolor paint, it is important to make color swatches for your watercolor pencils as well. So just layer in the thick consistency of the color, as you can see on the left screen, and just drag it with your damp brush to achieve the gradient look. Or you can also start coloring them from the darkest value to the lowest value and finally blending it with a damp brush. Next is the color mixing, which is the most complicated or challenging part in watercolor pencil, where you will have to make the color mixing on the paper itself, where you won't be able to witness the color change immediately, as opposed to a watercolor paint where you mix your paints directly onto the palette before you start painting them on the paper. So if you notice earlier, I couldn't tell the actual color mix when I made the color pencil mixes. It is only after activating it with the damp brush I get to see the real outcome of the color mix. Moving on, I'm going to demonstrate how to correct mistakes in watercolor pencils pigment similar to a regular watercolor paint. For example, I am going to attempt to remove the painting on the right hand side of this particular branch, and as I use a damp brush can easily lift out the pigment. You can also make adjustments on a dried painting. For example, this red sphere has already dried and I'm going to use the same technique by removing the pigment using a damp brush, and I must say it was successful. Of course, it all depends on the brand of the watercolor pencils, but generally they work similar to a regular watercolor paint. Underpainting techniques can also be done using watercolor pencils. I'm demonstrating using the first color, which is yellow, just blending that in with the damp brush and comparing it to normal watercolor paint. And once this painting is dried, I am going to glaze a layer of red colored pencil onto the dried layer of the yellow paint that I used as underpainting. And once I'm satisfied with the shading of the red color pencils, I'm going to use the damp brush to activate the red color and glaze over the yellow layer, and comparing it against the outcome of a regular watercolor paint, which is still impressive. As I mentioned earlier in this video, it all depends on the extent of your coloring and quality of the color. And just like the regular watercolor paints, watercolor pencils also require you to work on layers. Since water is still the medium used to activate these paints, it will always dry much lighter once the painting is dry. So do not expect the watercolor pencils to work like pastel pencils, because pastel are opaque in nature, while watercolor pencils that rely on water is still transparent. So you will have to gradually increase your coloring after observing the outcome once the painting is dry. So the number of layers that you have to work on will depend on the nature of your painting, as in style, as well as the expectation from your side. And I would safely say that you will definitely need 2 layers to nail a good watercolor painting, and you will require more if you have some fine details or final touch-ups to make. So when it comes to making fine details onto your paintings, you can apply them when the painting is still wet or once the full painting is completely dry. For example, on this leaf painting, I am just making some marks on the wet painting itself, and I'm just going to leave that to dry. You can also make the fine details when the entire painting is complete. However, it can be a bit challenging to apply the pencil pigment onto a dry painting. You can also incorporate a regular watercolor painting with a watercolor pencil. And usually it is best to use the watercolor pencils onto a wet regular watercolor paint. And this becomes handy when you are not very skillful or you find it challenging working on fine details using a smaller watercolor brush, because sometimes this can incur mistakes or it consumes more time. So you get to achieve better fine details since the control of the color pencils are much better as compared to watercolor brushes. So one of the main challenges in watercolor pencils is definitely the color mixing process. As I demonstrated earlier in this video, the color mixing is done directly onto the paper itself. And unlike regular watercolor where you do it on the watercolor palette. For example, in order to get a purple tone, you will have to mix two primary colors, which is blue and red. And I can do that onto the watercolor palette and get the result of this color mixing immediately or live on the palette. And I can keep making changes to these mixes on the palette until I achieve the preferred color choice before I start painting them. Unlike in watercolor pencils, it feels like a guessing game whereby you only see the result when the paint is activated with the damp brush. And if you need to make adjustments, I have to keep applying the color pencil onto the wet painting or the dry painting and try to achieve the preferred look, which can result in some damages or mistakes, and it's also time consuming and causes stress. So in order to manage this color mixing, the best thing to do is to make a booklet or charting of your color mixes so that you get a rough idea and plan your work ahead. So the good side to watercolor pencils is you just need regular brushes and you don't need to invest in many watercolor brushes, which has got its own functionality. So generally, watercolor pencils work similar to regular watercolor. However, if you are a beginner and would like to understand more about regular watercolor paints, I have a video and I'll leave the link to the video in the description as well as on the screen. Over here, I am just sharing a few paintings that are made in 2017 using this particular Faber-Castell watercolor pencils. And you can notice that even after 7 years, the paintings still look vibrant. And as I mentioned in the video, watercolor pencils are good to be used for fine details. So in this tiger painting, I managed to nail down painting the stripes easily with the help of the watercolor pencils. Unlike in normal watercolor paints, I am afraid I will have to go through a lot of major brush strokes to achieve those fine looking details. However, I still struggled with blending the watercolor marks that I made, which is why I am showing here in the orangutan painting as well as the lion painting. The fur textures or various tonal values were a bit difficult to blend in using the watercolor pencils, because it all depends on the pressure that you apply onto the paper as well as the smoothness of your shading or coloring that you make. And this token painting, I have incorporated watercolor, regular watercolor, by painting it onto the background, while the toucan was painted using the watercolor pencils. Apart from all this, overall I find it very much time consuming to use watercolor pencils. It's like double work, where I will have to make the coloring first and then start painting it with the damp brush, instead of right away painting in with the wet paints in a regular watercolor. So to sum up on the pros of watercolor pencils first, they are definitely great for beginners, especially children, where it doesn't involve a lot of water and paint as well as major brush strokes, so it's easy to follow. And not to forget a little mess when it comes to kids handling wet paints. So that's when watercolor pencils come in handy. Of course, watercolor pencils are much more affordable and they are also great in creating fine details. And as for the cons of watercolor pencils, as I discussed earlier, it's definitely time consuming and it's very challenging for the color mixing. And due to this, you often end up in surprises and it's frustrating if it is a negative outcome. Finally, the amount of pressure applied when you make your coloring will determine the smoothness of your blending when you apply water. Too much of pressure or scribbling can actually damage your paper, causing it to indent. So I hope my video was convincing enough to understand the nature of watercolor pencils. I hope I can make a full painting video using these watercolor pencils in order to provide better visualization. I hope to see you again on my channel. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Thanks a lot for your support. Bye.